time for quick pre-match thoughts from our summariser this evening, as Colin described him, former Warwickshire and Notts player, Kyle van Vollenhoven. Good evening, fella.
Good evening everyone. Hope everyone's had a very nice Friday and looking forward to the weekend, as I am. I think we're in for a great day tonight, great evening worth of cricket.
You were with us a week ago, Kyle. Saw Notts defeat Derbyshire. We've been to Old Trafford, been to Durham and been back here. You've also been on your travels, which we may or may not touch on later on over the last few days. But let's hope we can get back-to-back Friday wins here at Trent Bridge. Don't think there's as many in at the moment. Might just be parking the cars or on the concourse, or some last-minute refreshments being bought, but not quite as many in. As Shaheen Afridi in to Brett D'Oliveira, and we're away with runs for Worcestershire in their all-dark strip boundary to Brett D'Oliveira, punching it through the offside away towards the Fox Road stand, and just slightly overpitched and slightly wide of that off peg by Afridi.
Nice way to get off the mark. Lovely little punch through the covers, and D'Oliveira is off the mark with a boundary.
Experience now. Brett D'Oliveira, his 125th match in this format. He's had scores of 11, 2 and 4 so far, so not yet found his best form. And he's found it so far from the first two deliveries, overcompensated by Afridi. First one was too wide at boundary. Decent start.
Nice start. Help yourself on his pads, fine leg up in the circle, and that races away to the boundary.
Afridi just having a word with the skipper, wants an adjustment to the field. It's just inconsistent, poor bowling effectively. One wide outside the off stump, one wide down the leg side. Notts have got a third man and a deep square leg as Shaheen Afridi bowls one that D'Oliveira punches up to Mulaney at mid-off. They take a single and exchange ends, so down on strike for the first time is Michael Bracewell. The Worcestershire side, D'Oliveira and Bracewell, you'll have already heard me mention. Jack Haynes, Adam Hose, Kashif Ali, calling him Kashi this year. He's been in a decent bit of form. The experienced wicketkeeper batter Ben Cox, Ed Pollock, who bats down the order these days, Mitchell Santner, another New Zealand international who's been away with Chennai in the IPL, Adam Finch, Dylan Pennington and Pat Brown. Afridi to bowl to Bracewell, and he hits it back, or pushes it back to Shaheen Afridi. This Bracewell, one of the New Zealand Bracewell dynasty, is 32, is the cousin of Doug. His cousin and his two uncles both played Test cricket. His father and grandfather played first-class cricket. We had Doug here, the last county championship match against Essex. He's got a stint with Essex. And Michael with his first spell here for Worcestershire. Nice drive up to Mulaney at mid-on, and there's no run. I think Mulaney had just inched forward a little bit there, because D'Oliveira took one to him at the start of the over, didn't he?
Yep, very nice. Just clever captaincy, being very aware and realising that Bracewell not off the mark yet, will look to get off the mark quite quickly, and he stopped that.
Worcestershire in a very dark strip. I don't know if it is black or very, very dark blue, with a pale blue helmet, white names and numbers on the back, as Afridi concludes the first over, which one thuds into the thigh pad of Bracewell. So it got out of the over quite well there, Shaheen Afridi, with just one run from the huge sheets up, just to give the batters a little bit of a sighter. And it's Afridi into bowl to D'Oliveira, who's on 26, punches it away for 4 more. See ball, hit ball.
That's a cracking shot. That is an absolutely cracking shot, straight through the covers, on the up. Wow.
Looks in very fine fettle here. Brett D'Oliveira is 7 without loss. Afridi has already gone for 13 runs. Here he comes, the Pakistan international. Bowls again, nice and quickly off the outside portion of the bat. Runs to Lyndon James at backward point, or short third up inside the ring. Call it what you will, but no runs, a precious dot ball.
Few and far between to D'Oliveira at the start of this game.
Battle very much already intense and underway here between Afridi and D'Oliveira, and D'Oliveira has to bob underneath this one. That's good, quick, fast bowling from Afridi. It was well directed. One for the over, says our umpire. Our officials for this match, Paul Baldwin and Surendran Shanmugan. We've had Surrey, I think, once before officiating a Notts game. That was down at Taunton last year in the Royal London. Paul Baldwin, who didn't play first-class cricket, standing at point. We've had him officiating here many times over the years. D'Oliveira guides us again to Lyndon James.
Looks like he seems to have found a bit more of a radar here, Afridi.
Just going through his variations a little bit, isn't he? I fancy he'd taken the pace off that one.
I think it could be a night for that. Once again, looks like a belter of a wicket at Trent Bridge. Don't often not get that though, do you?
Lyndon James, Stephen Mullaney, Samit Patel, I'm sure we'll all get a bowl this evening. This was chipped up in the air and there's a wicket for... No, it's been spilled! Oh my word! It was just dollied up on the leg side. A real opportunity that should have been taken there, and Colin Munro has grasped what really can only go down as a very simple chance, although he was backpedaling, got both hands to it and should have taken it.
Most definitely. We spoke about Afridi going through his change-ups and taking D'Oliveira. Unfortunately, Munro not being able to hang on to it.
He's made 6 from 8 balls. Afridi bowls. Oh, that's glorious. That is glorious. Straight down the ground for 4 runs, and Shaheen Afridi's gone for law with the girls' night in. As Afridi comes in, bowls. This one skewed away off the outside edge, high and away down.
Wide Yorkers, straight Yorkers, wherever it is, you have to be able to hit the hole. And that's what Mullaney's done so well there. Even Samit Patel, when we practice in the nets, he hits Yorkers as well as anyone. Spinners nowadays, you know yourself, you have to be able to hit the hole, don't you? You need to be able to get out of overs.
The old adage, you can't go for 4 first and last ball of the over.
No.
It's just as simple as that.
Absolutely.
What would Stephen Mullaney be happy chasing here, Fletch?
No more than 185. It's 185 for 4 is Shaheen Afridi bowls, and they'll get a single.
Well,
186 for 4.
listen, I think the past score here at Trent Bridge over the last 5-6 years is probably 190, 200. I don't know the exact figures, Dave might have it down, but it's up there. So if we can keep it to somewhere around there, I don't think we will, maybe 210. Somebody's got to have a day out, which could happen. This pitch looks really good, the outfield is rapid like we keep saying, and it ain't going to change, so I would be thinking around 210, 215.
Afridi bowls onto the pads of Adam Hose. He's just pushed it out to deep mid-wicket, and they'll only get a single there. Montgomery again, really good. He's quick, he's fleet of foot, picks the ball up, fires it into Tom Moores, and they only get a single. 187 for 4. 10 balls left. 10 singles would suit Notts, I think. 197, but you'd imagine they'd be extremely fortunate to...
something will happen. They'll nick one through the keeper or something like that, but it's been a good last 14 balls, that is for sure.
Afridi bowls, and this one is lifted away into the Fox Road stand for 6. Not quite reached the front row of the Fox Road stand. Just bringing us some insights from the Notts squad. Afridi bowls again. Now this one's very high. This should be a wicket for Afridi. Stephen Mullaney says mine at backward point, and Mullaney takes the catch. The run. Fairly lengthy spell at Edgbaston. Shaheen Afridi bowls, and this one always been spilled by Tom Moores. Must have been pace off from Afridi. It bobbled and bounced and zigzagged its way towards Moores. Afridi bowls to Hose. That's a lovely looking drive, but there is protection out there on the leg side with Lyndon James. Just a single brings Pollock back on to, well, in fact it's the end of the over, so
They pay him the big money for. overseas player, close out the innings, finish well.
Well, he's already gone at 11 and over, 3 overs, 1 for 33. Men out D'Oliveira for 44, Bracewell 55, Santner only made 6, the one to miss out, Haynes 42, and Kashif Ali, a recent wicket to fall, he made 10. Pollock on strike on 1, Afridi, left armour to left hand, hit him on the pad, asking umpire the far end, and not given. Is it going to be a leg by? It is indeed. Going very well, 39 from 23. Afridi bowls, scooped away, fine, down to long leg for 6. That was, I'm sure, premeditated, but it was. Afridi comes in, bowls, hose, hooks it onto the leg side. To Montgomery, they might just risk the 2 here, and comes the throw and whips off the bail. That's got to be very close.
Out there.
Pollock missed this one, goes through to Moores, he underarms it towards the stumps, hits the stumps, and again they're appealing, and again I don't think it's going to be given. Good work by Tom Moores. Into him, yes, middle finger is right, and I think he's okay. Happy to continue. Afridi to bowl to Hose, was on 46, and already he was getting into a position just to do the his own version of the Hose.
25 for 5.
3 4s, 4 6s in that half century for Adam Hose. Last ball of the innings. About to be bowled, 225 for 5. Shaheen Afridi bowls. Adam Hose will chop this to backward point. The not skipper Stephen Mullaney relieved to field